Hi everyone, welcome to Move Everywhere Ryerson's virtual fitness classes. My name is Lindsay and I'll be guiding you through this 45-minute Vinyasa flow class. Please take water breaks at any time. I'll give lots of options for modification, so listen to your body. It's your choice to have your camera on or off. If you do have it on, I can then provide some real-time feedback while we're in practice together, but feel free to keep it off if you prefer. We'll start seated today, so whenever you're ready, just come to a comfortable seat. You might need to wiggle around a little bit to move the fleshy part of your bum out of the way so your sit bones can root down into the floor. Then just roll your shoulders up, back, and down, stacking your shoulders on top of your hips. Nice long spine. Let your hands come to rest somewhere on your thighs or your knees, and let your elbows just be heavy beside you. Feel free to close your eyes or just bring them to a gentle gaze somewhere on the floor in front of you. Take a few more breaths at your natural pace. No need to manipulate your breath just yet. And now start to deepen your breath, expanding your ribs in all directions. So we often think about lifting through our chest, but our ribs are a cage that surround our lungs. So imagine your ribs expanding out through the front, the sides of your waist, and even into the back space. As you inhale, imagine your lungs are a balloon filling up, and then exhale to slowly let them deflate. Take 3 more breaths here. One last deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. We'll start to bring a little bit of movement in here, and I will mirror you. We'll take a side bend up and over to your right. So bring your right hand down, left arm up and over. Bend down into your right elbow as opposed to dumping down into your right shoulder. Take one more big breath in, and use your exhale to press down, float up and over to the other side. It's okay if your setup is a little bit different on this side compared to the first. Find the depth that is comfortable for you this morning. Take one more deep breath in, and then exhale, press down. Come all the way up. Feel free to give your shoulders a little roll again. And then bring your hands to your kneecaps this time. We'll take a seated variation of cat-cow. So inhale, lift up through your chest. And then exhale, curve through your spine, send the middle of your back towards the wall behind you. Inhale, reverse, lift up to your seated cow pose. And then exhale to your cat. Take one more each direction. And then come back up to your nice tall seated position and take any little movements to dissolve that work. We'll come on to our shins now. So you'll want to use the long part of your mat here. And again, I'll mirror you. So take your right leg out to the side. Take a moment to adjust. Both hips are still equally facing forward and are level side to side. Right toes still facing forward as well. From here, reach your arms up overhead and then slide your shoulders down your back. Inhale, reach up and over to your left. Exhale, back up to center. So we're really isolating the muscles of your obliques, the sides of your waist. Move with your breath here for a few more repetitions each way. Grounding down through your right heel to help you come back up. Last one here. And then inhale up and over all the way to your left hand. Take a moment to adjust. You'll be on your right big toe here, right arm up overhead. We're finding a side crunch. So when you're ready, exhale, right elbow to right knee. Inhale to come back long again. We'll take 3 more repetitions here, getting the core work out of the way right at the start of our practice. Last one here, make it strong. And then keep your right arm, right leg extended. Take a little side stretch here, press down into your left knee. Send your hips a little higher, enjoy the stretch to the right side of your waist. Take one more breath in, and then slowly curl yourself forward, come through center. Maybe take a pause here with your belly resting on your thighs. Take one breath in, and then exhale to slowly come back upright and onto your knees again. You'll extend your left leg long this time. Take a moment to adjust your hips, level side to side and equally facing forward. Left toes working towards the front of your room as well. From here, reach your arms up, slide your shoulders down. Take a deep breath in, reach up and over to your right. And exhale back up to center. Always coming back to that nice upright spine, shoulders stacked on top of your hips. Take 2 more here. And then bring your right hand down to the mat. Take a moment to adjust so that your left leg is long. When you're ready, use your exhale to find that side crunch, knee to elbow. Always exhaling on the effort here. Just take 3 more, nice, slow and controlled. After this last one, take a moment to enjoy a stretch up and over to your right. Pressing down through your right shin to lift your hips a little bit more. Take 1 more deep breath in. And then exhale, fold through center. Give yourself a little break here, curling over your legs. Deep breath in, and then exhale slowly. Come all the way up. Take a moment to adjust. We'll come to all fours to bring our hips up and back to downward dog. So knees underneath your hips, wrists underneath your shoulders. Curl your toes under, press down through your hands and all 10 toes. Lift your knees just 1 inch off the floor. Maintaining a nice long spine here still. Take one more deep breath in, feeling your core start to fire up. And then exhale, send your hips up and back to downward dog. Pedal out through your feet or shift your hips side to side, whatever would feel good for you here. Take one more breath in stillness in your downward dog. And then bend your knees, look forward between your hands. Take lots of little steps to the top of your mat and just hang heavy over your legs. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, press down through your feet. Slowly come all the way up. Last thing to come up is your head. Give your shoulders a little roll. And then come to the very top of your mat. Feet are hip distance here, all 10 toes facing forward. We'll take our first flow of the evening. When you're ready, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hinge forward over your hips. Dangling your arms down. Inhale, slide your palms up your shins, halfway lift. And then exhale, hang heavy over your legs again. Bend your knees. Plant your hands, step back to your high plank. Your shoulders are right on top of your wrists here. Lots of energy out through your heels. Take one more deep breath in. And then press forward through your toes. Shoulders come past your wrists. Lower your knees down, hug your elbows in. And slowly lower. Halfway down towards the floor. Then pull your chest through. Come to your upward dog. So tops of your feet are rooted down into the floor here. Hips are heavy. Your knees might be hovering. Slide your shoulders down your back. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, send your hips up and back to downward dog. Feet are hip distance. Keep as much of a bend in your knees as you need to here. Take one more deep breath in. And then bend your knees, look forward between your hands. Come all the way to the top of your mat. Take a moment to reach for opposite elbows, so framing your face with your upper arms. Take a gentle sway side to side. Getting a little release through one side of your lower back and then the other. Take a deep breath in, hang heavy over your legs. Exhale, slowly press down, come all the way up. When you're ready, second time through, we'll come into a Warrior Two series. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold again, bend your knees. Plant your hands, step back to plank. Firm up through your lower belly, hugging your belly button in towards your spine. When you're ready, press forward through your toes, shoulders come past your wrists. Lower your knees down, hug your elbows in. Slowly lower your chest halfway to the mat, and then pull your torso through upward dog. Take a deep breath in. Use your exhale to roll over the tops of your feet. Come up to your downward dog. And then get heavy through your left heel. Start to lift your right heel up. Take a moment to pause here in your three-legged dog. Hips are still level side to side. And then exhale, right knee towards your chest. Pause here. And then plant your right foot down between your hands. Right toes facing towards the top of your mat. Spin your left heel down. We're setting up for our warrior two here. Once your legs feel stable, swing your arms up to find your warrior two. So your right heel is intersecting with the inner arch of your left foot. Right knee directly on top of your right ankle. And then extend your arms, perhaps gazing out over your right middle finger. From here, flip your front palm. Bring your left hand down to your left thigh or your shin. Take a deep breath in as you come to your exalted warrior, just avoiding any direct pressure on your knee. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, float back through your warrior two. Bring your right forearm to your right thigh. Left arm up overhead for your side angle pose. Take one more big breath in. And then use your exhale. Briefly just come back through warrior two over to exalted warrior. One last time here. Never losing that depth in your right knee. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale through warrior two. Last time in your side angle pose. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, press down through your heels. Float back up to your warrior two. On your last inhale, maybe sink a tiny bit deeper, keeping that right knee stacked on top of your right ankle. And then windmill yourself forward, framing your right foot with your hands. Step back to your downward dog. And take any little movements that would feel good for you here. When you're ready, bend your knees, look forward between your hands. Come all the way to the top of your mat. And let yourself hang over your legs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, press down through your feet, slowly come all the way up. And we'll repeat everything on the second side. When you're ready, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees enough that you can step back to your high plank. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, press forward through your toes. Shoulders come past your wrists. Lower your knees or not. And then slowly lower your chest down, keeping your elbows hugged beside your waist. Pull through to your upward dog. Letting your shoulders be heavy down your back. And then use your exhale to come up and back to your downward dog. Start to get heavier through your right heel, so you can float your left foot off the floor, finding your three-legged dog without changing anything through your hips. On your exhale, hug your left knee in towards your chest, shift your weight forward, and then plant your left foot through between your hands. Spin your right heel down, so right toes face the side of your mat. Left heel intersects with the inner arch of your right foot, and once you feel stable, you can windmill yourself up to your warrior two. Take a moment to settle into your pose here, checking that your left knee is on top of your left ankle. On your next inhale, bring your right hand to your right shin or thigh. Lift up to your exalted warrior. And then exhale, Sweep through warrior two over to your side angle pose, left forearm to left thigh. Maybe take your eyes up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. Use your exhale to come back through warrior two. Last time in your exalted warrior. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, come forward to your side angle pose. Never losing the depth through your left knee. Take one more breath in. Exhale, press down through your feet to return to your warrior two. Maybe you sink a tiny bit deeper on your last breath in. And then exhale to windmill yourself down. From here, step back to your downward dog. Taking any little movements that feel good. Take one more breath in. And then bend your knees, look forward between your hands, come all the way to the top of your mat. Take a moment to recover in your forward fold. One last deep breath in at the bottom and then exhale slowly. Come all the way up. We've got our last two flows here coming to a low lunge. When you're ready, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, hang heavy. Bend your knees, plant your hands, step back to your plank. Pause here. Then press forward through your toes, shift your weight forward, lower your knees, hug your elbows in as you slowly lower your chest halfway to the floor. And pull yourself through. Find your upward dog. Take one more breath here. Exhale, send your hips up and back. Root down through your left foot, lift your right foot off the floor. Pause here. Then exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest, shift your weight forward. This time, pull your right foot through, but it can be on the outside of your right hand. And then lower your left knee down. We're coming into a lizard lunge. So if you need to get some extra padding under that left knee, you can roll your mat over once or twice for a little bit of extra support. Take a moment to make sure that you're not directly on that left kneecap. We want the pressure to be on the bottom of your left thigh bone, not your kneecap. So you might need to inch that left leg a little further back. Maybe shift your weight forward. Take a moment to pause here before you try going any deeper. If you feel okay here, first option to deepen is just allowing your hips to sink a little closer to the floor. It might be such a small adjustment that you can't even see me do it here on the video. But you'll feel the difference for sure. Take a breath there to pause. If your body is still inviting you to go deeper, your next option is to walk your right foot out a little bit further towards the outer edge of your mat, and then come onto the outer edge of your right foot. So you're opening that right knee and right hip. Take one more deep breath in here. Then use your exhale to plant your right foot back down. Walk your right foot in slightly. Uncurl your mat if you rolled it under. And then press down through your hands. This might not be graceful, but you'll just swing your right leg back around to meet beside your left. Now you're in your tabletop. From here, curl your toes under. We're coming up to our high plank. We'll stay here for 5 deep breaths. Last deep breath in here. And then send your hips up and back to downward dog. Taking any little movements that would feel good for you here. Last deep breath in. And then bend your knees, look forward between your hands, come all the way to the top of your mat, and hang heavy once again. Take one more deep breath in at the bottom. Exhale to slowly come all the way up. And we'll repeat on the left side. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Bend your knees, plant your hands, step back to your plank. Pause here for a breath in. And then exhale to shift forward. Lower your knees or not. Hug your elbows in as you slowly lower your chest, keeping your hips high. And then come to your upward dog. Pause here for an inhale. And then exhale, hips up and back. When you're ready, root down through your right foot. Hover your left foot off the floor, keeping your hips level side to side. Exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. And this time, swing your left foot through, coming to the outside of your left hand. And then lower your right knee. Feel free again to roll your mat over for a little extra support underneath your right knee. And then walk your right leg back. Again, just making sure that we're not placing any pressure directly on your right kneecap. It's very common for us to be uneven side to side, and many of us are tighter on the left side, so please listen to your body. Only go deeper if it's truly inviting you to do so. Your first option for a more intense sensation is to slowly let your hips just hang a little heavier down towards the floor. This might mean releasing any clenching through your glutes, might mean letting your belly be heavy. Pause there for an inhale. And if you'd still like to venture a bit deeper, you can walk your left foot out a little bit more towards the left edge of your mat, and then come onto the outer edge of your left foot, opening your left hip and left knee. Breathe here, trying to focus on the sensations in your body. Use this time to explore and to observe rather than trying to escape them. Take 3 more deep breaths here. Find one last deep breath in, and then use your exhale to plant your left foot down. Start to walk it further in. Maybe just unroll your mat again. From here, plant down through your hands. Shift your hips back just a little bit so you can swing your left leg around. Return to your tabletop position. And then step back to your high plank last time here. 5 more deep breaths. You've got this. Take one more deep breath in. And then exhale, send your hips up and back to your last downward dog. So if there's any little movements you'd like to do, if you'd even like to take one more flow, feel free to do so. And we'll meet back here in downward dog. Take one more deep breath in here. And then use your exhale to slowly lower your knees down to tabletop. Bring your big toes to touch, take your knees apart, and find a child's pose here. So extend your arms long down the mat in front of you. Let your forehead come to rest on the mat if you can. Perhaps letting your forearms rest into the mat. We did do a lot of work on all fours and in planks today. So if your wrists are feeling a little grumpy, you can even bring your palms together here. Take a few little circles for your wrist. Take one more deep breath in. And then use your exhale to slide your hands underneath your shoulders, press yourself upright. Just bring your knees together, come onto one bum cheek and swing your legs around. Scooch yourself forward enough that you have the whole length of your mat behind you to recline. Lift your arms up, find your chest lifting towards the ceiling, root your feet down, and slowly hinge all the way down to your back. For 3, 2, and come all the way down. Hug your knees into your chest. Take a little rock side to side if you like. And when you're ready, let both feet come down to your mat. We'll find a reclined figure 4 here. So let your left foot stay grounded. Bend your right knee in. Outer part of your right ankle comes to the lower part of your left thigh. Option to stay here. Flexing through your right foot, maybe gently pressing your right knee away. Feel free to go a little bit deeper by clasping your hands behind your left thigh, maybe using the strength of your right arm to press your right knee away. We do want to keep the backs of your shoulders and the back of your pelvis relaxed down here. So you might need to lower your grip on your left thigh to achieve that. As you breathe here, just notice if there's any clenching happening, especially through your glutes. Sometimes in these intense releases, our body will try to escape the stretch. So see if you can let your glutes just relax, even if that means backing out of the pose slightly. Take 3 more deep breaths here. Take your last deep breath in. Let go of the clasp on your left thigh. Take your arms out beside you. Cross your right thigh on top of your left, and then let both knees fall over to the left. So we're finding a reclined twist here. If this arrangement for your legs does not feel good, please feel free to uncross your legs and simply stack your joints instead. So ankles, knees, hips, stacked one on top of the other. Whichever arrangement for your legs feels most comfortable for you. Keep in mind the back of your right shoulder should be relaxed down. So if your knees are so far in that your right shoulder pulls away, try to back off slightly, let the right shoulder melt down. And then maybe take your gaze over your right shoulder, getting a passive stretch for your neck. Take 3 more deep breaths here. Take 1 more deep breath in, and then use your exhale to slowly uncross your legs, come back to center. It might feel good to either hug your knees into your chest and rock side to side, or take your feet about as wide as your mat and let both knees fall to one side, then the other, like windshield wipers. When you're ready, come back to both feet planted on the floor. This time your right foot will stay down, bend your left knee in, outer left ankle to lower part of your right thigh. Take a moment to pause here and just see if this is the right depth for you today. If you'd like to go deeper, clasp behind your right thigh. Keep a good flex through your left foot here to protect your left knee and left ankle, and then maybe use your left arm to press your left knee away. Take 3 more deep breaths here. Take 1 more deep breath in. Release the clasp on your right thigh. Take your arms out beside you. And then cross your left thigh on top of your right. On your exhale, let both knees fall over to the right. Notice again if this does not feel good, especially for one of your knees, in which case you can uncross your legs and just stack your joints here. Take a moment to play with how far your legs are away from you or how close they are drawn in, as long as the back of your left shoulder can stay relaxed down to the floor. And then maybe take your gaze over your left shoulder and just start to melt down into the mat. Take 3 more deep breaths. After this last breath in, use your exhale to slowly come back to center. Repeat any little movements that might feel good here, so knees into your chest or windshield wipers side to side. These are your last little movements before coming into Shavasana. So when you're ready, feel free to head there by extending your legs long down your mat, taking your feet about as wide as your mat if you have one. If you're working without a mat, just take your feet wider than your hips. And then allow some gentle external rotation through your hips so your toes can fall open to the sides. You can either rest your hands on your lower belly or take your arms out beside you, palms facing up. Whatever feels more comfortable and more natural for you today. Wherever you are, see if you can send your breath all the way down to your belly. So inhale, fill up through your chest, inflate through your belly, and then exhale, let your belly fall and let your chest fall. If your mind is starting to wander, feel free to count your last 5 breaths here. Awareness of your breath can help you stay present in this moment. No need to rush ahead to what comes next for you today. Take one last deep breath in, and then allow your exhale to ripple out through the rest of your body, maybe wiggling fingers and toes or gently rocking your head side to side. Eventually, maybe zipper your legs together, take your arms up overhead, find a full body stretch, and then exhale to let it go. Gently roll onto one side here, doesn't matter which one. Use your bottom arm like a pillow, your top hand can rest. Take a breath in, and then exhale to press yourself up to seated. Take a moment to wiggle around, and then stack your shoulders on top of your hips again. Nice long spine, maybe roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Take a moment to rest one hand on your heart, then other hand on top. And just thank your body for allowing you to take all of these shapes today. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale to let it go. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. It was my pleasure to guide you through your practice. Namaste.